Here's tonight's 9 at 9. New York police searching for a man caught on camera opening fire on a basketball court. People are seen running as a man in a black hoodie runs up to the court and starts shooting.
And I seen the running in the terror, I seen the looks on the kids' face. They was terrified, and they shouldn't have to live like that.
No one was killed, but 2 people were hit, including a 16-year-old. Police believe this is gang-related and have identified these 2 men as suspects. A San Antonio police officer hospitalized after a driver crashes head-on into his car. This happened overnight near Huebner and Vance Jackson roads on the northwest side. The officer's cruiser was sitting in a turning lane at the time. The other driver said he never saw the officer. Police in a Boston suburb searching for the person spotted in this surveillance video. They're seen walking away from a rabbi's home just moments after a suspicious fire began. This is the second suspicious fire at that house in less than a week. A fighter jet crashes into a Southern California warehouse next to an Air Reserve base.
That's an airplane. That's a military airplane in our building.
The pilot was able to eject safely before the plane hit that building. 12 people inside the warehouse were hurt, but are expected to be okay. Luckily, even though the jet was armed with live ammunition, it did not explode on impact. 414 million pieces of plastic have washed ashore on the remote Cocos Islands in the Indian Ocean. That's according to a new study. The mostly uninhabited 27-island chain is in Australian territory. Although it's home to only about 500 people, the beaches are littered with 238 tons of plastic. A river rescue caught on camera in California. A man and woman became trapped when the Los Angeles River suddenly rose. A jogger in the area heard the pair screaming and tried to help, but he quickly got caught up in the fast-moving water. He was able to get out eventually and call for help. Firefighters used a boat and ropes to get them to safety. The man and woman were treated for hypothermia and other minor injuries. A driver hurt after a crash in far west Bexar County. This happened early this morning on Alamo Ranch Parkway near Lone Star Parkway. Deputies say the driver somehow lost control of his car and went airborne. The car rolled uphill and ended up stuck between a tree and a metal fence. The driver was taken to the hospital with cuts on his face and head and a broken hip. The U.S. Coast Guard says it is finally containing an underwater oil spill in Louisiana that started 14 years ago. An underwater system is collecting oil that leaked into the Gulf of Mexico. So far, about 30,000 gallons of oil have been removed from the water. The spill started after Hurricane Ivan toppled an oil platform about 11 miles offshore. Police spent hours tracking a bear in a Massachusetts neighborhood. The 130-pound bear led officers through several streets and a backyard before climbing up a tree and resting on a limb more than 50 feet in the air. Police, firefighters, and wildlife experts all there on the scene. Environmental police eventually tranquilized the animal. They're now working on relocating him. To read more about these 9 stories, go to ksat.com/news at 9.